Real Talk with ReZsaun.
Hello world and welcome back to Real Talk with ReZsaun when nothing's off limits. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me and I appreciate that. Now here on Real Talk with ReZsaun, everything's debatable, so in any given week we could be discussing anything from sports to music to politics. You name it, we'll discuss it. Now, as you guys know, those are returning viewers of Real Talk with ReZsaun. You know that one of the goals of Real Talk with ReZsaun is to shine a light on the great things that are happening right here in the Low Country. We talk about all the negative things that happen around here, and we'll talk about all the great things that happen everywhere else. But I'm telling you that right here in the Low Country, we have people making a difference day by day, making strides to make the world a better place for them, themselves, their families, and the larger community. And tonight is no different. I have my good homeboy, Andrew Burnell. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes. So please, for those who don't know who you are, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay. Well, I am Andrew Burnell. I am a coach, a writer, former performer, a husband, a business owner. You know, just kind of like a everyman type kind of deal.
All right.
Yeah.
So knowing you a little bit like I do, you're a little bit more than just an everyman. So we're gonna dig.
I consider myself an everyman.
We're gonna dig. All right. So let's start from the beginning. Where are you from? Where are you originally from?
Where am I originally from? I was born in like West Ashley.
Okay. All right.
I was born in like the West Ashley. I grew up in the James Island area. Spent a little bit of time in Wamala when I was a kid.
Okay.
And then I moved to North Charleston, and then from North Charleston I moved to Goose Creek, where I spent my formative like high school years in Goose Creek. After Goose Creek, man, kind of stumbled around and ended up traveling all across America.
Mm-hmm. And what were you doing when you were traveling?
The first or the second time? Well, the first time I was homeless.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first time I was homeless, I found myself homeless, and I ended up traveling, basically hitchhiking across America for long time. And then the second time I was on tour with the Circus.
Wow. You're on tour with the Circus.
Yeah.
So what were you doing with the Circus? Because see, I know, but they don't know. So
All right.
I'm trying to introduce you to the people.
Yeah, I was an acrobat. Yeah, I was an acrobat with the Circus.
Okay, so how did you get into being an acrobat?
So I grew up just like any other young kid in the hood, flipping off stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, and just as I got better and better, I found myself when I was younger, in my teen years, doing gymnastics at different little local gyms. You know, whenever I could afford it. You know? And I ended up getting really good. And what ended up happening was after I fell out of gymnastics in my young adult years, I ended up going to a bunch of different auditions and stuff like that. With dancers, and some of my good friends were dancers, so we would go to different auditions. And one audition, it just so happened to be an audition for the Circus, and so I auditioned and I made it on. And I traveled with the Circus for about a year.
Wow. See, that's dope. See, I didn't know you traveled with the Circus.
Yeah.
I knew you traveled, but I didn't know it was with the Circus.
Yeah. No,
So tell us about the Circus. Like, give me your best Circus story.
Well, I mean, it was pretty normal. I mean, it was a pretty normal gig. Like, a lot of people think like it was really like weird or whatever like that. But no, it was pretty normal. I worked 6 days a week. So I was working Monday through Saturday. Sunday was my day off. But yeah, man, I would get up in the morning. I would train with my troupe. I would go over our lines, and then we would do a show a little after midday. We would do a show at night. So did that. Saturday was our day to kind of go over new lines and go over new things, and then Sunday was our day of rest. But because I was low man on the totem pole, I usually had to like clean up the
Elephant poop.
Yeah. So that's what I spent my Sundays doing. So it was hard, but I learned a lot. Came back to Charleston, and when I came back to Charleston, I started working at different gyms, teaching and coaching at gymnastics and in the dance world. And so that was it. So I don't really have like a funny story of like being in the Circus, because that was pretty just get up, work, go to sleep, work. But yeah, I have a funny story before that.
Okay, go for it.
Oh yeah,
sure. All right. We're just having a conversation, man.
So one time in particular, I remember that I went to I don't know if you remember it, but it was like 10 years ago.
Okay.
Wow, what's it called? The Cirque du Soleil. When they did the Michael Jackson tribute.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Mhm.
So they did the Michael Jackson tribute, I think Bad or whatever like that. So they were holding auditions in Florida. And I remember like driving I had like a little beat up Hyundai Tiburon, like, you know, oh my God, it guzzled gas and it like would stop suddenly violently and like just anywhere it wanted to, right? And so I ended up like carting my little car down there to Jacksonville, Florida. And when I got there, I ended up like bombing completely at the audition.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because I thought we were like going to be on mats and like trampolines, and like we get there and it's just like they're like take us out to like a concrete like
like,
pavement, and they're like, yeah, flip, show us what you got.
Go flip.
And I was like, but I see the trampolines over there.
Can we use the
trampoline? They were like, nope. And yeah, man, I was like number 182.
Dang.
And they only had spots for like 50 people, and it was like,
oh wow,
yeah, I did make that one.
So you had to drive back.
I had to drive.
That's funny.
And
so you said you toured with the circus for a year.
Yeah, about a year and some change.
Was it like a big name circus or was it like a smaller circus?
Universal Circus.
You were Universal Circus?
Yeah.
Cool. So wasn't like Carlton Banks was with that?
Carlton Banks?
Carlton Banks wasn't like the Circus of the Stars.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Circus of the Stars.
Yeah, that.
Because Alfonso Ribeiro was on Circus of the Stars.
Yeah, no, that's different.
All right. So how you like to be on Universal Circus?
It was good. I had an amazing time. I mean, I don't really have any bad memories from it. I mean, I think the only.
Do you ever miss it?
Yeah, I miss traveling. I miss traveling. I miss traveling specifically because when you come from a small town like I do, like Goose Creek, and you know when I remember specifically coming back, and when I came back, it was like, God dang, y'all boys still doing the same thing.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. So it was that. It was like you know, you go out, you see all these things, and then you come back and like, you know, the same girls getting pregnant. The same dude's still selling drugs. You know, like I literally know somebody right now who's still living with his mama, still trying to get his rap.
You are podding right now. That's funny.
Right, like, but I mean, it was real. Like, it was like I like went out, did all this stuff, and then I come back and he's like, "Yo, you want to listen to my mixtape, bro? Get a job."
That's funny.
So yeah.
Wow. So all right. So you went off, joined the circus.
Yeah.
Came back from you literally joined the circus.
Yeah, I literally like ran away and joined the circus.
So you were in the circus. You came back.
Yeah.
And then what? What you started teaching gymnastics.
Yeah, so I was teaching gymnastics. I was teaching gymnastics and kind of doing my thing, and I was teaching at different dance studios as well. So I was teaching at a local gym, and then I was teaching also at a dance studio. And and it was kind of like at the same time, I was also like taking personal training clients, and it just so happened one of my clients that I got was a guy by the name of Jamal Tisdale. So if you know him, Jamal Tisdale, amazing guy. And so me and him had known one another in high school, and he was a dancer. And so I'm working at one dance studio, and it's like late one night, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, and we both just got done teaching. So we're sitting there talking because we were training together, and we had this like really great setup where we would like get up in the morning, go run 4 or 5 miles, and then go eat at Waffle House every day. And one day he basically was just like, man, you know, it's been like 4 months since you got off that tour bus. And I was like, yep. And he's like, you ever miss performing? I was like, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, you want to perform? And I was like, yeah. And so we ended up starting our own performance company, Daft Concept.
Okay. All right. So tell us more about Daft Concept.
So Daft Concept was this idea that we had where we wanted to get the best people out of all their fields. So we wanted to get like the best acrobats, the best dancers, the best performers, and we wanted to shove them all together and make them play nice.
Okay.
And I mean, we made big noise, we made big waves for a little while. And it was one of the better experiences of my life. And I'm happy to say that most of the people who were in Daft Concept, most of the people, like 90% of the people, are to this day working.
Oh wow.
And doing well. Like that was one of Daft Concept's big thing was I always had the idea like the show is going to be over at some point, so let's make in ways so that when we're done performing, we can all go forward and do our own thing and you know work. And so yeah, I'm proud to say that most people came from Daft Concept. They're working to this day. They're still teaching and still rocking.
That's dope. So you started Daft Concept.
Yep.
Did personal training.
Yeah.
And now what do you do?
So right now I'm a personal trainer. I have my own company, Rebound Personal Training Services. I work at several gyms around here: Goose Creek Gymnastics, Rockstar Cheerleading, United We Dance, and my wife, she owns a studio, Somerville Dance Academy. She's the director of Somerville Dance Academy.
All right, shout out to Somerville Dance Academy.
Shout out to Somerville Dance Academy. Hey, that's the dance studio you need to be at. So I work at several different places teaching acro, strength and conditioning, and gymnastics.
All right. So what do you like about teaching acrobatics?
Well, tumbling saved my life.
Okay.
So for me, when I am teaching tumbling, it's a I don't want to say spiritual thing, but tumbling is a really emotional thing for me because here I was a young black kid in the hood.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like nobody believed in me, nobody thought I was going anywhere. Like principals in school, would tell me, yo, you should just drop out because you're never going to be anything but a drug dealer or a baby daddy or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And I just kept tumbling, kept plying my trade, and kept training, and kept going. And now I live in a really amazing life because of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to live the life that I want to live due to the strength of my tumbling.
Wow,
that was just amazing.
Wow. What do people most misunderstand about tumbling?
That it's easy, and that it's different. It's different. So if you come from the dance world, one of the main things that they misunderstand about tumbling is that tumbling is like dance, where you can go into a room, learn a few steps, and tumbling will just happen.
Now you're just
doing it. If you come from the cheer world, one of the things that people most misunderstand about tumbling is that tumbling is about tumbling. Okay. They don't understand like there's work that goes into it.
All right.
So when you're like, just because you can pull that flip, you still have to learn the fundamentals, and you still have to do this, and you still have to get stronger, and you still have, you have to run. They don't understand the work behind it. They just think that it's mostly just flipping.
Okay.
So I think altogether, the thing that people misunderstand about tumbling altogether is that it's easy, or it should be easier, but it's like, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to tumble, and it's not supposed to be easy.
Okay. So you're a black man.
I'm a black man.
Who does acrobatics.
Who did acrobatics. Now I coach it.
Right. So now you coach it.
Yeah.
What do people mostly misunderstand about that?
Oh, they don't get it. People don't get it.
So when you say they don't get
they don't get it.
What do you mean by they don't get it?
Well, so there's three things that usually happen. Usually when people see me, they're like, "Oh, football coach." Like that makes sense. But when I'm like, "No, acro," they're like, "What?" Because I don't look like the standard gym coach. Another thing is people see me and they look at me and they think I'm a meathead. Right. So like they don't allow me to express the science. Because I fell in love with the science, the physics of tumbling. So when I'm teaching tumbling, I'm starting at the bottom, I'm working my way up to the top, and I'm talking about how the forward roll turns into a front tuck, or the backward roll turns into a back tuck, or what a full is and how a full looks, and how a moving body through space does this. And people, they don't like the science, because when I come in, they're like, "Oh, you're just a meathead. Flip."
What about the strength aspect of it? What do people misunderstand about the strength aspect of what you did when it came to acrobatics?
They misunderstand how strong you have to physically be.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
that's exactly
they misunderstand how strong you physically have to be. So, and I tell people, like a lot of parents will come to me, "My daughter has a mental block." And I'm like, "Your daughter does not have a mental block. Your daughter is literally not strong enough to do that thing." Yeah.
So, in that, and that's, I really wanted to get to the fact that, a lot of people, like you said, would look at you and say, "Okay, you play football."
Yeah. Meathead.
Yeah. You hit people for a living.
Yeah, I hit them.
Like you're like, "Nah, I do
this.
Gymnastics."
Yeah.
And they're like,
"No.
Nah. Do you have any stories about that? About people seeing you in
but that happens all the time.
How do you deal with that?
At first it was annoying. At first it kind of hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm also an acrobatic choreographer.
Yeah.
So I take acrobats and I put them inside of dances with my wife and other dancers, and we put them on stage and we try to make those things pop.
Yeah.
That's literally a big part of where our money comes from.
Yeah.
And when I tell people like, "Yeah, I am creative and I can think like that," they're like, "No."
They just think you're.
They're like, no. So a lot of times, and that's actually, I'm not going to name names, but that's actually a problem I'm going through now, where people are just looking at me as like, "Oh, flip them," and I'm like, "No, let's really work this thing." You know what I'm saying? Like, if you let me do my job, it'll pay out. But yeah, they're like, "No, just pick them up and flip them."
Wow.
And I'm just like, "Come on, there's so much more." So,
wow. So And if everything goes perfectly with you, in acrobatics, what does that look like for you in 10 years?
In 10 years, what do I hope to be doing?
Yeah.
All right. So in 10 years, if everything works out, I would like to, me and my wife, I would like us to be in like phase 4 of our studio, Somerville Dance Academy. So phase 4 would be our own place.
All right.
Yeah. So our own place. And we have our own place, but I'm saying like our own building.
Right.
Our own
right.
This building in the middle of this
people in Somerville know.
Yeah.
Where Somerville Dance Academy.
Yeah. You know where Somerville Dance Academy is.
New Hampshire watching this. First of all, thank you, New Hampshire. I appreciate it. But just they have a building.
We have a building.
Their building.
Yeah, we are.
They're renting.
Yeah,
okay.
We have a building. So I would like us to be in our very own building. And from our very own building, I would like to have a very own building. I would like to be doing personal training on the side, and then I'd be like to write.
What do you like about personal training?
I like people's lives to change, man. Because I was fat at one point in my life. I just got out of a really bad relationship. This was when I was a young though, like 19, 20. Just got out of a really, really terrible relationship. I mean, it was one of those, like, at the end of it, you was, like, in the shower crying. Like, why would you do this to me? Like, but in that relationship, I had, like, swole up to, like, 360 some odd pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, rip rolling fat.
Okay.
Yeah, I was waddling when I was walking. I had, like, triple chins. It was real bad. Coming out of that and getting back into shape, and just feeling that burst of confidence and how I could operate and move again and stuff like that. I just like people's lives to be changed. I like to see the look on people's face when they're like, dude, I ran a mile.
Yeah.
Dude, I
just did that.
Push-ups.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or when you're like, dude, like, I can do this. Or when I have some of my clients do challenges with me, like right now we're doing a challenge, 1,000 jump rope a day.
Okay.
And when I have clients who do it, they're like, I didn't think I could do that.
Yeah.
And I did it.
Yeah.
Or I just had one client go, I played with my daughter. I played with my kids.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing to me.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So that's what I like about it.
Shameless plug for me. Like, you're an amazing trainer.
Thank you.
Like, you do a great job.
I try.
You do a great job of mixing things up, like the stuff that people would normally think you're gonna go to a trainer, you're gonna lift all the weights. And, like, you make a point of it to not only make it, where you're working your body, but you're also working your mind. And so much is going on that you, at the end of the workout, you're like, dang.
Yeah, I just did
what did I even work today? Like, you did so many things. It's not like, oh, today we're working lats.
Right.
Today we're working quads.
Yeah.
Today now it's like, no, we're just gonna work. We're gonna work. You're gonna feel it tomorrow. I promise you will.
Yeah.
But it's a whole body workout.
It's a whole body workout. And once again, Matt, like I said, that's one of the biggest problems I'm going through right now. Is that people, like, they are trying to, like, micromanage every little thing, and it's like, if you just kind of let me do my thing, you'll get this. You know, and it's like, calm down, see.
Wow. Okay. So, transition. Right. So, like you said, you're not just a meathead. You're not just a dude who
not just a meathead.
Heavy things.
Yeah. Although I can lift heavy things.
Yeah, but though you can't lift heavy things, you're much more than someone who just lift heavy things. So, your other endeavors. You're a writer.
Yeah, I'm a writer.
How did you get into writing?
Writing. Okay, so this is like going back in, like, my history.
Okay.
So I've always been a writer, and that's what a lot of people don't know. So, like, I was actually telling somebody, because not too long ago, I was kind of, telling people, hey, I'm going to start writing.
Yeah.
But people don't know my past, right? Like there's, like, my wife, like, somebody who I don't talk to anymore, and then, like, my sister. 3 people who, like, know my past, like, know where I come from. So when I tell people, like, I'm a writer, they assume, like, it's one of those things that I just woke up one day and was like, I want to write.
Yeah.
Nobody knows, like,
that you've been writing for.
I've been, like, writing. My whole life I've been writing.
Yeah.
So I started writing because I have my grandmother. She was one of those people when I would ask her, hey, what does this mean? Or what does this thing do? She would go research.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was I would research everything. And she would tell me to write down my feelings and write down what I was going through.
Yeah.
And so, man, like, I was in 5th grade just writing. Like, I'm talking, like, sonnets. Like, I'm talking, like, blah,
Yeah.
And through my middle school and high school thing, I actually was on the poetry circuit. That's going to freak you out for the teen talent for the Christian churches.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I won nationals 3 times.
Okay.
For poetry writing. Yeah, On the Christian circuit, yeah.
On the Christian circuit.
On the Christian circuit, man.
We're not going to say the why that's ironic.
I mean, we can. We can talk.
We can.
We can talk about it. We can talk about it.
But this will be a much longer podcast. But so you got into writing, doing poetry.
Yeah. So yeah, always big.
You had a love for writing.
I just have a love of writing. I love to piece words together and make them hit and do all that stuff. That was actually kind of like my hook in high school. Like when I was like interested in a girl, I would like write her a quick little poem. And I remember like it was this one girl I was super, super interested in. And I wrote her poems all the time, right? And I had a teacher who was a writer too, and I was explaining like what I was doing. And he was like, "That's a lot of poetry you're writing her." And I go, "Yeah, because I love her, right?" And he goes, "No, you don't love her." He was like, and he looked at me. He goes, "If a man writes a woman a sonnet, he loves her. If a man writes a woman 300 sonnets,
he loves writing sonnets.
He loves writing sonnets."
Yeah.
And I was like, huh? Oh, I think I love writing sonnets.
That's funny. That's funny.
So that was like my hook in high school. Like if I liked a girl, I give her a little poem. But they had like the wackest names. Like it'd be like Black Panther, Black Butterfly.
Jeez, this guy.
There are girls out there right now
who have Black Butterfly.
You know, so it's funny.
If you got Black Butterfly, please.
I'm sorry.
Email it to me.
I'm so
Email me Black Butterfly, and I'm posting it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
So spinning that forward, like, because one thing that I think hasn't been made really clear yet is how well read you actually are. Like, when you start talking about things, like you really,
people don't know that
you've done an extensive amount of research. To start talking about.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah,
it's one of the things that I don't, because people look at me and they see this.
Yeah.
So they just like.
Do you think that's a subconscious thing? Like it's something that you feel like you have to do because you are bigger. Like you have to prove how smart you are.
No, I've never been that concerned about my smartness.
Because you're really intelligent.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
I appreciate it. I consider you a really smart guy, so I take that as a super
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
This is so different than it goes when we're working out.
Yeah.
For the record.
Yeah, well, because then we're working, so now like, fuck that.
Again,
I give a fuck about a nigga. Like,
I told y'all there would be cursing in this one, and it would.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You got like a lot of like. I'm sorry.
Somebody buzzed you to tell you cursing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Funny guy.
I'm sorry.
Hey, so this is just who he is. It's cool. I promise. So, sorry, we're talking about your novel. All right. So explain to them what your novel is about again. I'm sorry.
Okay, cool.
Love for sci-fi.
No. So so it's a sci-fi novel. Dealing with a lot about religion.
Okay.
Dealing with a lot about religion. Religion is a study of mine.
Yeah.
So just if you would mix the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the X-Men, Lord of the Rings, and Star Wars.
Okay.
If you mix all that together and threw like some dynamite in it, that's my story.
Okay. So when you think about sci-fi,
sci-fi fantasy,
why choose that realm to write in?
Because I get to be my most creative.
Okay.
Yeah. Like anytime like I'm doing like an acro set or an acro piece, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
For like a studio or something like that, you'll notice like most of it is going to be like in the realm of like science fiction.
Okay.
Yeah. Like my wife is all about like the dark stuff. Like she's like a kid is abducted and trapped in a car. Yeah, let's make the back of a trunk and have her dancing in the trunk wrapped up. And I'm like, ew.
When you're doing your dance.
Yeah, and I'm like, let's talk about somebody becoming an age or like.
Look, can we do some happy stuff today? What?
Yeah.
Nah.
No. Mine can be dark. It'll just be fantastical.
Fantastical. What's that mean?
Like fantasy.
Word. So it'd be like sprites.
Yeah, sprites, elves, woodland nymphs.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's how I rock though. Like
that's your jam.
That's my jam. But like a lot of people don't know that about me. Like a lot of people don't know. Like once again, like a lot of people don't know. Like I was the guy who like I was big and I liked to fight and I liked to wrestle and I liked to go with the girls and stuff like that. But yeah, like when nobody was around, I'd be over at my other friend's house who nobody knew about playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Like,
word. So that's why your writing leans towards that.
No. My writing leans to that because I that's all I read as a kid. So like as a kid, I was my grandma would always say, read books of people who don't look like you, talk like you, sound like you.
All right.
And so like as a kid, especially loving like fantasy and things like that,
I was reading things like the Xanth novels by Piers Anthony.
Okay.
One of my favorite authors is Douglas Adams, who wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So those were the books that I was naturally drawn to.
Mhm.
So as an adult, when I write, this is what I naturally want to write about. I want to write about those fantasy things.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how soon? How far are you into your book?
I'm on page. Damn. I'm on page 650.
Yeah, page 650.
Yeah.
How many pages do you want the book to be?
I want it to be 300 pages.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
350 pages over.
Yeah.
There's a specific reason I'm asking this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say why.
Right.
But
Yeah.
when do you plan on having the book done so the people out there can read it?
Oh my God. I don't know. Well, it's so hard.
Is it?
It is. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
It's hard because I work all the time. Like I work a lot, you know?
You do.
And
You do.
so it's like by the time I get home and I can write, I just want to sleep. Or
Yeah.
I just want to hang out with my wife or I want to go to lunch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I sometimes don't have the emotional energy to write because writing is a very emotional thing
Yeah.
for me. Like
Yeah.
when I'm writing, I'm not just like, and that's what people don't understand. Like as a writer, I'm not just throwing words on a paper.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Just like when you're doing acrobats, you're not just doing flips.
I'm not
There's
just
motion,
flipping.
there's-
There's a connection there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is why I take it so serious.
Mhm.
And so you got to understand that when I write, and you can tell, like I can show you 2 pages that I wrote,
Mhm.
and you'll see one that I was putting my all into it when I was just putting papers down.
Yeah.
And they don't even read the same.
Yeah.
Like I've had people do it, and they're like, literally, this one reads like. Da, 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 da. This one is like it's you know one of my readers, beta readers read it, and he was like, dude, it literally feels like music when you write.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say like I'm a Bach or something.
You Bach, man.
You know?
You Bach.
No, I want to be better than Bach.
You Mozart.
I want to be better than Mozart. I want to be Andrew.
Boom. Done and done.
Like that?
LeBron, are you the first LeBron?
Huh?
Instead of being the next
Exactly,
Jordan, the first
exactly,
LeBron. I feel
exactly,
you.
exactly.
I feel you. So you're writing, you have the poetry.
Yeah.
Now I know your Instagram page is actually loaded up with your poetry in like image form.
Yeah, so I have a lot of images on my writing Instagram that have to do with really anything. So so it has has some writing on it. Yeah.
Mhm.
I put a lot of my writing, like my story on it. So I let people like get a bit of my story and things like that. And people read and be like, I didn't know you could do that. Low battery.
Oh, okay. We're good. We're good.
Yeah, but people were like, I didn't know you could do that. And I'm like, yeah, you have to pay attention,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, you're like an ogre.
Yeah.
Layers, man.
There are layers to me, but people don't like layers. That's one thing that I'm coming to find out in my artistic journey.
Is that people don't like layers?
People hate layers.
Mm.
People despise layers. People want to place you in a box.
Okay.
You can never leave that box.
Okay.
And this is just exactly where you are.
Right.
You know what I'm
you
saying?
are where we need you to be.
You're right where we need you to be.
Mm.
And so that works because, hey, I get a lot of money from that, But then I think one of the main reasons why it's been so hard for people to accept me as a writer is because, not the writer community, the writer community is like, oh, Andrew, one of us, love you. But like regular people in my life, when I'm like, yeah, I'm a writer, they're like, no, no.
Mm.
You can't be a writer.
Maybe I don't know. I think I don't know.
What?
But
Don't
it
you
just
know?
no. I mean, I think that people would accept you as a writer. I think they just need to see what you wrote.
That's fair.
It's like if I said I was an acrobat.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yo, flip." No, I don't be doing that.
I got you.
I don't be.
But that's-
I don't flip in front of people.
But that's the thing.
I only flip in my room.
Right, but it's a little different, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like if you told me right now you were an acrobat, I would be like, I would like to see a video or like see
Yeah.
you tumble.
I'm not.
Right?
I'm not
And
showing
that's
you.
fine. That's fine. But I wouldn't immediately judge you.
Right. Oh, see, that's the thing. If they judge you, like, nah, you're not an acrobat. Well, that's what they would do.
Yeah.
You're not an acrobat. You can't flip.
Right.
You got no videos of you flipping?
Right.
Nah.
Now, I'm like, yo,
I
I'm a
have
writer. And
videos.
people immediately are like, yo, you suck, son. You ain't no writer. Boy, you whack. Like,
They tell you what.
yeah.
You
Like,
right.
and I'm like, what? Like, what? Like,
You need a new friend group.
just read my stuff.
You need a new friend group.
Oh, no, these aren't even friends. These are like people like out in the
Then
world.
why are you talking to them?
I'm just saying.
Then stop talking. Stop
Oh,
talking.
yeah, no. It's,
So this is how our workouts go. By the way. It's like Andrew said something.
Yeah.
Like,
or I'll say,
why are you doing that?
Yeah.
He's like, because.
Yeah. Or I'll say a thing, like anything.
Anything.
I'll say anything. Like I'll say blah 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 blah, and people go, "You're not smart. Don't say that." I'm like,
But see, I don't think. I think to mix up. I don't like what you said with you're not. What you're saying is not bounded in truth are two different things, or that what you're saying isn't bounded in intelligence is two different things.
Right.
And people conflate the two a lot of times.
right.
It's like so people do that a lot. They confuse the two and they make them to be one and the same when they're not. And I know you have a lot of controversial, outlooks on life.
I don't think I do.
I think you do.
I don't.
See, do you notice that right now? You said right now? Like
No,
right now, you're
no.
being
That's,
like,
I'm
right
not
now,
being
I'm
controversial.
trying to throw you
You're
an
telling
alley.
me whatever.
I'm trying to throw you an
Whatever.
alley.
You're saying
and
I
you're
have
like,
controversy.
Get that alley out
I
of here.
don't
And
have
we're on the
controversy.
same team.
I don't have controversial thoughts about life.
Okay, cool. Go for it.
What do you mean? Go for it. Give me a thought.
Why do others perceive you to be controversial?
Okay, now that's a good question. People consider me to be controversial.
I'm really good at these alleys.
Because, for 3 reasons. Number one, I say things that everybody is thinking, but nobody wants to say.
I think you say things that you think everybody is thinking.
I'm telling you, I'm saying
There's
things
nothing.
that...
None of the things that I've said was controversial have been things that I've thought.
Yeah, no,
I was like,
I'm
I
telling you.
really wish I could say that.
I'm telling
Never.
you, I say the things that people don't naturally
Okay,
don't
all right, that's fine.
want to say.
All right.
All right. Number two, another reason why people think that I'm controversial is because of the way I say it.
Okay, all right.
So my wife says this a lot of times. My wife will say, "Baby, it's not the fact that you said it;
Mhm.
it's how you
You
said
can
it."
tell anybody anything you want as long as you know how to say it.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not gonna be like, "Hey, man, I don't want to be your personal trainer," anymore, right?
Mhm.
I would say, "Hey, dog, you whack, son, get that out of here, baby." You know, like,
That's not a good...
yeah, get that shit out of here.
That's what you would tell me?
Gone. And people be like, it's the same thing. It's just, right? So it's the way I say it.
Okay,
And then number three, all of my thoughts are fully formed.
okay.
One of the biggest things that I pride myself on is I try to make all my thoughts as rational and fully formed as possible.
Mhm.
And a lot of people don't have fully formed thoughts.
Yes, true.
They will believe a thing or think a thing or do a thing,
Mhm.
and they've never actually sat down in a room by themselves and going, "This is why I think, do, like, or I am this way."
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when you come to somebody like me,
Mhm.
who is and you have to understand, it's not because I'm a special type of human. It's literally because for a long time I was by myself.
Yeah.
I was homeless.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about I was in that one house that needed to be painted.
No.
I was literally on the street,
Mhm.
eating out of trash cans, sleeping in abandoned buildings, homeless.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time by myself understanding why I thought and why I do the things
Okay.
that I do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So when I come at people and I tell them, this is why I think about the thing, well, if you have a half-formed thought and a person comes up and goes, this is actually how it is,
Okay.
you're not even going to listen to them. You're just going to go, controversy.
Mhm.
And they don't listen to me. 9 times out of 10, when people actually sit and listen to me, you know what happens at the end? They go, I agree with you. And I go, duh. Yeah.
Oh,
Duh.
I don't know.
I promise you, 9 times out of 10, 90% of the time. If my wife is on here, Amanda Burnell, if you're on here, let them know.
She's not on here right now. I mean, she may be.
Where's she at?
She's not on here right now.
Baby! What?
She's not on here. I don't think she's not. What's up, Serena? Hey, Jesse. Hey, Alkaline. What's up, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? Hey, Mom. So, yes, the thing I always will say, and right now we're just talking.
Yeah, we're just
good.
Yeah, we're just good.
You're very intelligent.
Thank you.
You're extremely intelligent.
Thank you.
And like I said earlier, you make a point of it to have thought through things that you said, and I think that you're very strong.
There's my wife right there. Baby, please tell this man that when people actually listen to me,
when everyone listens to him,
when you listen to me and you don't just shove me aside,
your wife says you have to calm down.
I ain't calming down.
You're clipping this audio.
Son.
Audio. If you want people to listen to this, you're gonna have to talk a little quieter, buddy.
My fault.
All right.
I'm tired of the world telling me to calm down.
All right. No, but seriously.
Yeah.
So I think that you really believe everything you say, which is really important.
I do.
What I think also
Yeah.
is you have no tolerance for people who think other than what you think.
You think that?
I think that.
No. I'm good. I'm good with other thoughts. As long as those thoughts are fully formed.
Okay.
You can tell me right now that you believe that there's a pink purple dinosaur that flies around.
Okay.
And as long as that's a fully formed thought, I'll accept it.
Yeah.
I may not agree with you.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
But I will accept it.
But people do have the right. I can hear you. Stop screaming. People have. See, my thing is always, and this is a discussion, a continuous discussion that we have all the time. People have the right to believe whatever they want. Like they really, really do.
They really,
like,
they really should.
It all doesn't require a challenge.
Yeah, but they really should.
But they should.
Because beliefs in silly things have led to wars.
But you
have led to starvation.
You just gave that. You just put a value on that. You just put a belief in silly things.
Yes.
When you add an adjective, you are adding a value to that statement. No. Saying believing in things that I don't believe to be true, or I don't believe to be logical.
No, because truth is an actual thing. Like, you can actually prove that a thing is true or not.
Your wife just said he's kind of right about that.
Whatever.
She wasn't talking about
Whatever, okay?
Shout out to you, Amanda.
Don't do
I
that.
keep telling her we need to go to dinner, but I think he's afraid of this conversation happening.
We can go to dinner. We can do it now. I'm ready.
We can go to dinner right now. We're going to turn the camera off. We're going to dinner. Anyway, but that's all I'm saying. But that's all I'm saying is that you have to leave people's room for them to have their to have their space to be them, because our beliefs our beliefs make us who we are.
No, that's dumb.
It's absolutely true. Your beliefs make you who you are. You are the man you are because of your belief system.
Okay, I was thinking something different.
But I am the man because of my belief system.
But what I'm saying is, right, you have to respect the person. You do not have to respect the belief. Beliefs have no inherent value of respect attached to them.
Okay.
Beliefs are just things that you made up.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You just made up. And you'll find that even people who say, I believe in this thing, they don't actually believe in that thing. They've made so many concessions and so many regressions on that thing that by the time they get down to the end of it, they don't actually believe in the thing that they're telling you.
Mm-hmm.
They believe in some bastardized version of that thing.
Okay. See that, and I can get with that. That's
all I'm saying.
That's what they can get with. See, but do you realize how I left the door open for finding middle ground as opposed to saying, nah, we disagree.
Right. But you realize, but that's what most people do. When I'll say things, they'll go, nope, and then they'll just shut the door.
But they shouldn't. But because that's not how we grow. We don't grow like that. We don't learn like that.
That's okay.
Oh, mosquitoes. I hate mosquitoes so much.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
It's a mosquito.
It has the right to live.
No, it does not in my house.
That's
it does
crazy.
not. But yeah, but absolutely, man. So that's always my thing with anytime we have discussions. But we have really good discussions. If you want a trainer that's gonna talk to you and give you stuff to think about when you leave,
I'll grow you.
Yeah. He's at least gonna challenge your thinking.
Give me one controversial topic you think.
You know the one.
Which one?
The one.
Which? I don't know the one.
God.
God?
Yes, God is the one.
God is
the one. That's our one. That's the one that we're just like, you know what?
Well,
we're gonna leave that one alone for a little while.
Can we take 5 minutes? Can we take 5 minutes? We could do 5 minutes.
Go for it.
Do you want to do 5 minutes? Well, present it to me.
I don't have to present because the thing is,
just present it.
I believe in God.
Okay.
God is something that I believe in.
How is that
in my show every week by saying God is everything and without it we are nothing. You're gonna hear it when we're done because that's my thing. That's my belief.
I don't even understand what that means.
That God is everything?
Yeah.
That means that God is the Alpha and the Creator, Alpha and Omega.
Yeah. How do you prove that?
You can't prove God.
Okay.
You shouldn't try.
So how do we even know that God is a thing?
I know that God is a thing because I believe in God.
You believe in it, but how do you know that that's a thing?
The Bible.
The Bible?
Yeah.
That's it? So you read a book and you just accepted everything in it?
That's the one.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
Okay, cool. So how do you know atoms exist? How do you know atoms?
Atoms?
Yeah. You seen an atom?
No, but
Have you seen one?
I have not seen an atom, but we can test
Have you seen air?
Yeah, you can actually freeze air. You can actually freeze air and solidify it.
Right.
I've seen frozen air.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And also I can test time out.
How do you know it's air?
Because I've seen
How do you know it's not something else?
Because it's clearly air.
No, you see a thing and then you call it air.
Well, yeah, we assign names and values to things.
We do, don't we?
What does that even mean? You don't assign a value to a God. You just
not to a God.
What God do you believe in?
I believe in God.
Which one?
The one.
Which
I
one?
only believe in one God.
Okay, there have been 10,000 of those.
I only believe in one though.
Give me one.
God.
What does this God do?
He does everything.
That's wild that you're saying this. That is a
He
holy
did
plan.
everything. He created the heavens and the earth.
How do you know?
Because the Bible told me.
So you read a book.
I read a book.
The book made you feel all fluttery, and
Did
you
it make me
decided
feel
to go.
fluttery?
It clearly made you feel
It
fluttery.
made me feel fluttery.
This is crazy.
I'm not a crier in church.
That's crazy.
That I'm not a crier
Can
in
you
church.
can I see your God? Can he
You
show
can't
up?
see my God.
Can he show up and
You
say
can see the
hi?
movements of my God. You look
Where?
around you. Look. Everything.
Yeah, I see a desk. I see an iPad. I don't see a God. I see ReZsaun.
Yeah, God.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Mr. and Mrs. ReZsaun who made you.
No, my mom and dad.
Yeah, I'm
They
pretty
made
sure.
ReZsaun.
Oh, I don't. Or what?
That'll be weird.
Whatever. I'm saying you show me your God.
But I don't have to show. But see, that's the thing. That's what I'm
That's
talking about. Andrew.
That's so silly. That's so silly.
That's what I'm talking about.
There's so much silliness here. See,
See, you want him to feel the way you do about it. LOL.
I would like you to feel the way.
I won't though.
That's crazy.
I won't.
That's the big controversial topic.
That's our one.
That's our one.
That's our one.
Pick a different one.
No, I don't have another one.
You don't have
pretty
another
much
one?
agree on almost everything else.
Yeah, unless I can see my man. I ain't.
But we don't have. But that's the thing. I
No,
don't
no,
have to see.
but you ready for this?
I see God's
half
operating
the
in my life.
reason, and that's fine. But half the reason I do feel the way that I do is because when it comes to our people, we have been led on this idea of there's a God up there who's going to help us and do it. And yet our people are subjected to horrendous forms of poverty.
Okay, all right.
We are subjected to a modern day form of slavery in the form of the jail system. We are subjected to low test scores. Literally, we are tested as though we are stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
When I was a kid, they drugged me up on Ritalin. They, instead of taking my natural energy and allowing it to flow as it would, they were like, oh, let's put them on little blue pills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not allowed to be more. You know what I'm saying? Once again, when I tell people I'm a writer, they don't see me as a writer. They just see me as a guy who can hit people.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is directly linked back to how we view black people in America.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Now, black people in and of ourselves, we have been put on this thing and gone, just believe in God and pray. Right?
Yeah.
Just believe in God and pray.
Hey
God
guys, I'm
ain't
recording. Sorry, guys, I'm recording. Toya. Thank you.
But we have been we've been filled up on hope,
Yeah.
and hope has done nothing for the black community.
Okay. All right.
And
all right.
that's why I'm so against it.
That, and we've had that discussion where
Right.
I definitely understand that part of it.
Right.
But I think that you're putting two completely separate issues together. And
I don't
making
think
it
that
one
I
and the
am.
same. Because the same way you can say, okay, these people believe in God, and because and they have struggled. There are also people who are non-black that also believe in God, and you won't put them in that same
Cool.
group.
I'm black. They ain't black. I ain't worried about them.
See, there it is.
I'm worried about I want my people to be edified. I want my people to be strengthened. I don't want it to be unusual when a little black child goes, I want to go to college and be a scientist. I don't want that to be an unusual thing.
Right, and it should,
I don't want when I walk into a place and I go, I'm a gymnastics coach. You're a gymnastics coach? Yes, a gymnastics coach looks, you can be not a small white woman
Right.
and be a gymnastics
But
coach.
again,
It's possible.
that's not a religion thing. That's the stereotypes.
No. But those stereotypes stem from a certain place.
It doesn't stem from religion. Nowhere in the Bible does it say
what I'm saying,
black men should be little.
Time out.
Should be hitting people
What
in the
I'm
head.
saying is that it all stems from a place. And in America, right?
Yeah.
Black people have been shoved into these stereotypes.
Okay.
Okay. Those stereotypes, they come from a place.
Okay.
And that place is generally when we were thought of as little more than animals.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
We were thought of as little more than cattle. We were thought of as little more than just forms of currency. So now, whenever we're trying to rise above that and be different and be better, like I put a post on Facebook not too long ago. Nowadays when people say, "Oh, that's the first black whatever,"
Okay.
that's no measure of that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
should not be in 2010 still going, "Oh, that's the first black."
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that all stems from this religious ideology of these types of people are lesser.
So again, back to the Bible.
Hit me.
There's nothing in the Bible that says these people are lesser.
Really? Because the Bible is full of things that says these people are lesser.
No, it's not.
Really? Kill the Amalekites down to every man, woman, and child. And keep the female children who have never known a man by sleeping with them for yourself. What is says that?
That is not saying that
You know
are
what?
less
Can we
than
just get on to another topic?
No, because that's not saying that people are less than you.
Are you serious? He committed genocide.
So that was black people?
No, but I'm saying like that's a very clear, analogous form of saying that these people are lesser.
No amount of getting loud will change the fact that what you're saying.
No amount of getting loud is going to change the fact that you're wrong.
You're combining two different issues and you're making them the same thing.
No. I'm saying that there's a very clear path where you're seeing that we can see that these people were considered lesser. It's not a hop, skip, and a jump to see this is why people would think this about black people or people of color in general.
No. Because the depictions in the Bible clearly state that a lot of people that people think were white in the Bible were not white.
I'm not talking about white.
Jesus was not white.
No, if Jesus existed, he was clearly a black man. Right. He clearly had dreads and he clearly smelled weed.
And nobody thought this person's less than us.
Yeah. Yes.
Palm Sunday. Remember that? That was in the Bible.
Yeah, but once again, you realize I just think the Bible's full of fantasy stories.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. You can't use the Bible as the measuring stick of how.
I'm talking to you.
And then say, this fake book of fake stories is why the world is as terrible as it is. You can't. I'm sorry, Amanda. I tried not to. I'm sorry. But we are going to go on. But
all right,
we'll continue at the gym.
Yeah, we'll continue at the gym.
Cool. Right, cool. He's an amazing human being. He's an amazing human being. This is really my dude. And even though the one thing I will say, is though we disagree on that, like we disagree on the principles of that, and we can agree on the fact that we disagree there. And it's always a very respectful thing. And even that discussion never turns into like a
I'm gonna fight you and I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, rah kind of thing. It's just like two minds challenging one another, and I can enjoy it. That's witty banter that I enjoy, which is why I come back to the gym.
But that's where I fail with a lot of people, because a lot of people, whenever I'm just like and I'm getting into the conversation, they're like big scary black man,
because they can't. But a lot of people can't hold their own in a discussion,
and that's fair.
And that's even if we're having a discussion about something as simple as politics, right? I see you, Jay. We talking about something as simple as politics. If we disagree, there are people who will not engage in discussion, but will instead sit back and fold their arms and just be like, knowing that they completely disagree with what I'm saying, or just completely disagree with the points that are being made, but they don't have the verbiage, they don't have the communication skills to be able to say, I disagree with you, and here's how, without getting angry.
But that's what I'm talking about, those non-fully formed thoughts.
Yes.
People just believe a thing or think a thing or go through life with a thing, and they never actually grew that thing. They never actually birthed that thing into existence. So they're still, like I tell people all the time, I don't believe in traditions, because all traditions are is old dead people telling me what to do.
Okay.
Right? I want to understand why I do a thing, why I think about a thing, and why I view a thing the way that I do.
Okay.
And most people have never done that. And what you said was so amazing, because that's true. Most people will fold their arms and they'll never actually say, this is why I think.
Let's go back to 2016. So I want to have a small...
2016.
2016.
What happened in 2016?
The election of Donald Trump.
Oh!
So if we go back to 2016, right?
DJT.
The reason people were so caught off guard was because you had two groups of people.
Right.
You had people who hated Donald Trump.
Right.
And then people who said nothing about Donald Trump.
Right.
And because those people were silent, the people who hated Donald Trump were like, oh, everybody hates Donald Trump.
Right.
Nobody's speaking against, nobody's speaking for him, nobody's standing up for him. And then election day happened. And those quiet people got really loud.
Yeah.
And they spoke with their vote.
Right.
But those same people now, they still can't have the discussion. They can't justifiably have the discussion, I disagree with you, and here's why, without getting loud and belligerent.
Right.
And it becoming something else.
Right.
And that's the problem with our nation. That's what I try to do with the show, which is why I'm really glad that you came and we can have this discussion, because we're having it in a way that, we completely disagree on something we both very, very strongly believe in.
Right.
But I don't want to fight this dude. I love this man. He's like one of my favorite people. Like, I rocks with this guy. Right? But there's so many people that don't have that ability and don't have that skill. And even shows like this, you watch shows like Pardon the Interruption and First Take, and like they're set up for people to just yell and scream about the things they disagree about. When the truth is that we actually agree on probably 95% of the things on Earth.
But didn't I say that?
Yeah.
90% of things, people are going to agree with me.
Yeah.
And there are going to be some hard passes with anything, but especially politics. But we've never taught people to understand why they feel the way about things.
Yeah.
We've never taught people to actually take a moment and think about why they want those things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so what happens is you get a lot of people just not parakeeting, but parroting with whatever mom or dad said or what cousin said. Yeah. But those aren't original thoughts. And so when you challenge those thoughts, when you say, why do you, I can't tell you how many times where somebody will tell me a thing and I'll say, why do you feel that way? And they're like, I don't know. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so that's what I'm talking about. You know, when we talk about something like, Republican or Democrat, I strongly believe, and I could be wrong, you're willing to disagree with me, you can't disagree with me, but I strongly think there are no real Republicans or real Democrats. What happens is you'll tell somebody a thing and they'll run all the way into their corner as far as they can get. You get what I'm saying? Like people are like, let's bring up a hard-hitting topic, abortion. Okay. You ready? Right. So you say, okay, do you believe in abortion? And people immediately go, no, don't kill a baby. Right? Yeah. And then you have some people going, yeah, kill the babies. But most people aren't like that, right?
Most people are like...
Most people are in the middle and they're going, let's figure out safe and healthy ways to have babies. So that babies can grow up strong, happy, and whole, and we can keep on bringing good people into the world, right? So my whole thing, right, before we even have to have the talk of abortion, let's get our young women in a place where mentally, emotionally, and physically they're ready to bring a life into the world where they don't even have to think about abortion. I feel like most people agree with that. But they hear the word abortion and they immediately just run to either end. Yeah, I mean, and no one listens.
I think we live in a world where people want to believe that we live in extremes. When
we don't.
That we live in the middle.
Like, we live in the gray, man.
I'm a big believer in the gray. Like, I don't believe in I don't believe in good and bad people. I believe people are people if you make choices. This is something
it's all about
I talk to my students all the time. What is the topic, Melvina? We've been going on some different topics. Right? We're not going back to the topic because you're an evangelist, so I'm sure I know why somebody sent you here. We're not having that discussion right now, and we're not going to have that discussion.
Oh, she an evangelist?
we're not.
Is she an evangelist? Because we can go.
No, we're not going to go. We're not going to go. Because I like Evangelist Melvina Robinson watching. And thank you so much for watching. And thank you everybody who's been watching tonight.
Yes, seriously, I appreciate you guys coming through.
We're at 8:09, so we're going to start to wrap up.
Yeah.
But so you mentioned earlier, that you care about, black people.
I do.
And you'd like to see us as a whole. And when I say speak about us, of course, we know that, any disenfranchised group, we're going to need specific things to get out of where we are as a people. Yeah. Where do you see that coming from? Where do you see that elixir being to help African Americans and disenfranchised people of all backgrounds getting out of the situations that they're in?
Well, I think it's with anything you have to start with the mind.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? What is it? If my body can conceive it, if my body can believe it, and I can achieve it, all that. I think especially with black and brown people, we have been fed on a steady diet of you are not good enough. My wife is white, and one thing that
shout out to white wife.
but one thing that we talked about a lot is the idea of beauty.
Yeah.
Right. And how when we have our child, we have children in the future, we want to raise our child our children to give you a perfect example. So white women say that guy is tall, dark, and handsome. I think of Idris Elba.
Okay.
They think of some tall white dude with dark hair.
Yeah, that's weird to me.
That's weird to me. That's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
But you can't judge young black children by white standards of beauty.
Yeah.
Because if you judge a young black child by white standards of beauty, they'll never measure up. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And one of the things black and brown people we have to stop doing is we have to stop judging ourselves by white standards.
Okay.
So when I say get into the mind, you really have to get into the thing of, why do I feel this way about myself? Why do I think about myself this way? Why do I not value who I am as a person? Right. So you start with the mind. That's a powerful one, I think. Another thing that we can easily do is, I think, understanding how the chips are stacked against you, or how the deck is stacked against you. Me and my wife were actually having this conversation today about how poor. We were on Sproul Avenue. Poor. That's a manufactured thing. Being impoverished, that's not that's not a thing that just happens.
Right.
That was a thing that was created. You know what I'm saying? And I brought up the I don't know if you guys knew this, but like 2-3 years ago, Wells Fargo took over $30 billion in overdraft fees from people. That legitimately means Wells Fargo found a way to get $30 billion from people who didn't have money. You know, being impoverished is a terrible thing. And I asked my wife this question. I said, "Do you believe that wealth is the eventual outcome of hard work and ingenuity?" And she goes, "Well, what do you mean?" I go, "If I work hard and if I'm smart, will I eventually be wealthy?" And she goes, "Well, yeah. Then every woman in Africa would be a billionaire." But Africa has been plundered, raped, sabotaged on every single level, so we can't grow that. You get what I'm saying? So that's the thing. You have to realize you're a part of the system, and then you have to realize how we can get out. Make sense? So you start with the mind, and then you start with the economics. You have to understand the economic portion of it, right? And then the third thing is we have to stop praising things that don't grow us as people. You know, young black boys and girls, you know, like, I hate the fact that I still have friends I went to high school with who are still trying to become rappers. When these people could be amazing coaches, when these people could be amazing, you know, teachers, when these people could be amazing scientists, but yet they're so busy trying to talk about how 8 years ago they sold a bag of weed, but they're trying to make it rhyme and hit hard. Stop. Like, why do we value things that don't grow us as people? You know what I'm saying? And it's because of where we set our sights on and where we set our eyes on. And I just think as people, black and brown, world over, we can do something a little bit greater. So fix your mind, fix the way you think about yourself, fix the economics, and fix the things that we're putting in front of us to say this is where our value system is. You know?
All right. Well, I love that, man. I love that. Thank you for this discussion. It's been really good. You gotta come back.
Yeah, let's do it.
We gotta come back. We'll do this again. And maybe we'll bring Evangelist Elvita.
I mean, she could come on. Shorty could come.
Hey, we gonna pray on that.
Cause I'm there.
I'll pray on it. You won't pray on it.
I will not.
I will pray on it.
I will not.
We'll pray on it.
I will not.
I will though.
Not this day and not any other day.
I pray for you all the time.
You don't have to.
But I do. That's what love is, man. That's what love is, man. Love covers a multitude of sins.
Please get
That's
out
in
of
the
my face
Bible.
with that.
That's in the Bible.
Yeah, that's wild.
All right. So where can they find you? If they want to find you,
if you want to find me, you can find me on. I'm on Facebook, Andrew Burnell. You can also find me on the Real Andrew Stevens and on my Facebook. On my Instagram. So just check me out. Real Andrew Stevens, all lowercase on Instagram, or that's my writing page. The Real Andrew Stevens, all lowercase. That would be my other Instagram featuring my work as an acro coach and gymnastics coach and personal trainer. And yeah, man, if anybody is looking for a personal trainer, anybody just have a really good conversation with, look me up, man, because I'm always willing and able.
Yeah, definitely.
And also, please don't forget to check out Somerville Dance Academy. Yeah, SomervilleDanceAcademy.com. It is directed by Amanda Burnell.
Shout out to Amanda.
Yeah, she is an amazing dancer, a wonderful former performer, and she really cares about growing these children and putting kids out there to give them an option at life. So many kids think, oh, I have to be this and I have to be this. And Amanda's like, you can be whatever you want.
Yeah.
And Somerville Dance Academy is a great place where a lot of people have just kind of found their voice.
That's dope.
Even if they're using their body, they found their voice through that. So please look up Somerville Dance Academy.
Are y'all accepting new kids?
We are always year-round. Somerville Dance Academy is accepting new kids, new talent. And we are a competition studio. So if you come there, be ready to work, be ready to get on that stage, and be ready to kill it.
And he will cuss your kids.
Don't say that. I will not.
He will go.
I won't a lot.
He won't a lot. He won't. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me, bro. Hey, we're gonna do this again for sure. For sure. And I want to thank everybody for watching tonight, man. Thank you for watching. Remember that the show is now split into 2 parts. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. I do my interviews with my local celebrities, and on Sundays at 7 is my normal show. I want to pause right here and say I'm probably going to be pausing on my Sunday shows for a while because I'm in grad school and it takes a lot of my time, and it's hard to plan for a show and do a show and edit a show and get it out in a timely manner for you guys to watch. So, but the local celebrity spotlights are here to stay. I have people booked all the way through through April now. So trust me, those are coming. Next week's local celebrity spotlight will shine on Jeremiah Roberts. So Jeremiah Roberts, I got to tell you about Jeremiah Roberts.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Roberts is a flat earther.
What? And what? How?
Watch next week to find out.
No. A flat earther in 2020.
Flat earther.
He knows you can see the planets. You can see the shadow.
Tune in.
Where do you think eclipses come from?
Did I finish my read? Tune in next week where we will discuss why he's a flat earther.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Religion.
It's not religion.
I promise you.
I promise you it's not.
I promise
you it's not. Watch next week, I'm telling you.
Flat earther.
He's a flat earther. Can I finish my read?
Yo, I'm sorry.
Jeez, man. If you're doing something in the community, yes. If you're doing something in the community that you would like a light shine on, reach out to me on my website. That's www.realtalkwithrezsaun. That's www.realtalkwithrezsaun so we can discuss getting you on the show. This and all my shows, in addition to the Car Chronicles series, is now available for your listening pleasure via Apple, Google, Spotify, and any place you can find podcasts. Also, you can find on my website, www.realtalkwithrezsaun.com. If you'd like to be made aware of when I go live, because sometimes it is unscheduled, please be sure to click the follow or subscribe tab on the page and turn on the notifications so you will know when something new is posted to the page. In the meantime, please follow me on social media to stay up to date on what's happening with Real Talk with ReZsaun. All you gotta do, wherever you go, any social media site, type in Real Talk ReZsaun, and I will pop up, I promise. Feel free to leave comments, questions, and whatever else you'd like to say in the comment section or the message section. I love reading your messages and getting the feedback, even if it's negative, because I don't want people to tell me how great I am. I want to be as great as I can possibly be, and I can only do that with honest feedback. I am currently accepting invitations for speaking event engagements and event hosting opportunities. If you would like for me to speak at a host or event, you can request me via my website. You guessed it, www.realtalkwithrezsaun. On that note, I am speaking at Evening of Prayer this Saturday at a Black History Month program. Shout out to my niece J. I'm Jaden James. I know Raphael James of Channel 5 News is also speaking. That's the big homie, and I'm really excited about it. Always remember, thank you again, man. It's so dope. Always remember, in closing, God is everything, and without Him, we are nothing. So never forget where your help comes from. And if a man doesn't stand for something, he's bound to fall for anything. Now that is real talk. I will see y'all next Wednesday. Peace.